have dragons? I'll give you one.
Welcome back to Heroes and Whiskey. We are printing our way through the D&D 5e Monster Manual. And today we have monster number 72, one of my favorites of all time, the Ancient Gold Dragon. This is yet another amazing and giant dragon from Lord of the Print that captures all of the majesty and awe of one of the most powerful creatures in D&D lore. I remember as a kid always trying to find ways to incorporate gold and silver dragons into my homespun campaigns, because to me they were the pinnacle of monster kind, even though I never had anywhere close to a character or a story worthy of it. Like the dragon in the manual, this gold dragon is characterized by strong spikes all over its body. It has a very aggressive wing styling and the nose tendril things, which are a holdover from when the gold dragon had much more of a serpentine Asian dragon styling. And I know I've complained about other Lord of the Print dragons just kind of standing in an unassertive pose, and that's true with this guy as well, but here it really feels like it fits. Your party isn't likely to do battle with a gold dragon unless they're up to no good, and so they're much more likely to encounter it as a character in an adventure, and the pose and the styling just demand respect. It is a fitting design to one of the top monsters in the manual. Of course, gold dragons are known for their noble personalities and their utter hatred of evildoers. They actually prefer to spend most of their time in humanoid form to hang out and talk with the riffraff. So I could definitely see a setup where you've got an adventure where just kind of a random NPC sends the party off on a quest. That quest actually ends up being a test because the NPC is actually a gold dragon recruiting players to its cause. In terms of how it printed, so let's start with the base. So as I have with the other dragons, I did the base and the wings. Where's my finger? The base and the wings and FDM, the rest of it I was able to do all on my resin printer. And with this base, you can see that the creators, well, you probably can't tell by looking at it, but I believe this is supposed to be like stacks and stacks of coins, and my FDM printer did not like it at all. And so now it just looks like a bunch of, I don't know, leaves, garbage. So just be aware if you're printing this base and you want this treasure hoard to show up, you are going to need to do it resin because FDM definitely doesn't do it justice. In terms of the dragon itself, so the wings do have some of the telltale characteristics of FDM. You can see a lot of really rough areas on the kind of tops of the wings, which is what I used on the support side. You can definitely see a lot of layer lines here, but overall the dragon came out really, really nice. I think there's a lot of really nice details on the face. All of these little tiny spikes are really sharp. There's kind of scales covering it throughout of all different shapes and sizes, and they did a really good job with those as well. See if I can get some of these in it. There we go. The tail you can see is just kind of massive and wrapping around there. The only thing I'll say is that this right wing, you can see the seam, it's actually pretty good right along in here, but the left seam is not good at all. Like I almost wonder if maybe I printed the wing too small, because you can see like up here at the shoulder there's definitely a gap where it should be, but then the kind of bottom of it is actually up here, and so this lines up, but then you can see that you can actually see light through this middle of the seam here. So other than that, I'm sure that's an issue with printing it in two different mediums, or again, maybe it was something that I had done, but overall it printed really well. The pieces that are supposed to be crisp are just a really nice print, and let's see how big it is. In terms of size, it is yet another massive dragon from Lord of the Print. The wings aren't quite as big as the green dragon, but still have about a 110-foot wingspan in D&D scale, which obviously doesn't even fit on screen. Like a few of the other dragons we've looked at, it's just an imposing design to drop on the table, and like the others, it won't exactly be the easiest thing to bring discreetly to game night. In terms of resources, it's $19, which is very much on par with our other dragons, and it's definitely worth it for a figure of this quality. But because of the size, especially the wings, it did take a bit of time to print, coming in over 3 total days, which brings us to a total of $710 and about 32 and a half days of total print time. So if you need the granddaddy of all dragons, I think it's a toss-up between the green, the black, and this gold. Next up, we have the only dragon described as cheerful in the manual, the silver dragon.